Hey guys, it's been a while, both on camera, but also generally. It's been a while since I've gotten a video up on the channel. I have finally got my PC. It took a while with shipping, the shortage of parts and just in general stuff. It took a while to get it, but we finally have it, and it's pretty fucking insanely spec'd. I'll probably talk about that in a new video. I just want to say, one, thank you for the support. There has been the channel has been growing even when I haven't been able to upload videos. And if you want, I know it's been requested a lot since I stopped streaming. I'm currently live on Twitch. I hopefully will be able to stream a little bit more, especially if this stream goes well because of my rig. I won't be lagging and dropping frames, and it won't be horrible for me to play the games and stream at the same time. So I'm live on Twitch right now. If you're watching the video within like a 4-hour upload window, probably I'm live. Hopefully I see you guys there. If you want to catch stuff like this, so join our Discord community, follow me on Twitter. You can also just follow me on Twitch, or you can subscribe to the channel with bell notification. All of those ways you will be notified when I go live, so we can chat, have fun, just generally have a talk, and also you guys can currently watch me fail at my placement games. So that's gonna be really, really fun. After that, I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you guys are doing well, especially in these times. We almost have our vaccines, but I'll stop rambling and hope you enjoyed the video. A while back, IGN made a Overwatch review, but it was in 2020. So it was kind of like a review of the current state of Overwatch, you could say. And that video, for a lot of people, felt like an ad read, felt very like a big corporation took money from another corporation to speak fondly about their game. Now, I've been playing Overwatch since the beta, as a lot of you guys know. I've hit GM multiple times. I have coached in contenders. I played the game from beta now. I've been through every balance changes. I have coached professionally during majority of the metas, or I scrimped myself. I played in both high elo. I've done private coaching, or everyone from bronze to top 500. I think I have a very good understanding at both the roadmap of Overwatch, how the development process has been going, at least from a player perspective, how it has been from the top tier competitive scene all the way down to like the bronze players and everything in between, both as a player, a coach, a content creator, and therefore I want to talk about the current state of Overwatch, or a sort of Overwatch review in 2021. Hello, my beautiful and lovely gamers. As always, my name is Jonal. Before the video starts, I've been gone for like a month, as you guys heard in the intro, so a like on the video greatly helps out. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, as majority of the people that watch the videos are not subscribed. Drop me down a comment showing some love. Hopefully the algorithms are not too mad about it. And yeah, subscribe to the channel. Again, I'm live on Twitch, twitch.tv/JonalOW, Twitter and Discord and all the good stuff down in that description. But let's talk about Overwatch. And I will start this video, or I will run this video as a review. I think that just kind of highlighting all the positive stuff about the game and not taking a look at the game itself is not a proper review. So again, I think that when it comes to Overwatch, the graphics looks great. Again, it's not Battlefield 5. Like, it's not ray tracing, it's not anything like that. But I think that again, with the art style that the game has, it is one of those where it just, even though it's not like the most super realistic, it's not supposed to be. It has its charm, it looks great, and I think that's something that majority of people can agree on. Unless you hate that type of arcadey, cartoonish art style, and you rather want something realistic, of course, then this isn't the game for you. But I think the game looks good. I think the weapons are good, the skins are good, the maps look amazing. I think the atmosphere around in the game feels alive, feels good, and just have a lot of details and kind of like small stuff to it that I highly, highly appreciate. Walking and playing around in the world feels great from a visual standpoint. I also think that Overwatch audio system is next to none. There's very few games, in my opinion, that really competes with it. You can listen to footsteps and you know who it is. And you always do. There's like no question about it. I can always know who is where on the map just based on like footsteps. And then there's everything from ultimates to ability sounds. If somebody used an ability, a lot of time you can hear it. There's audio cues and they are actually pretty clear. I think the audio design is really, really good. I also think that while it doesn't have like the ringing sound of an AWP from CS or anything like that, I think that the guns feels powerful to shoot with. Again, a lot of it is lasers, but the fact that the shooting sounds and then you hit someone and you get those little hit marker sounds, I think that it feels great to shoot. I feel it feels great to play around, swing with the Ryan hammer and hitting people, earth-shattering, fire-striking, pinning people. I think all of it from an audio perspective is also really, really good. And that's something that has started, that was with Overwatch when it came out. And I think they just improved on it both graphically and also audio-wise. I think that they have all done that really well, while also keeping Overwatch runnable for a lot of systems. You don't need, again, like Battlefield 5 or any like one of those really high-end, AAA games. You don't need a supercomputer to play Overwatch, making it accessible to a lot of people. Again, that also is true to a lot of other, of these like competitive FPS games like Valorant and CS and League, which is a competitive game at least. They normally run really well, and I think Overwatch is still looking really great, looking really crisp, but still managing to give good frames even to, the mid-tier and even the lower end of the spectrum of gaming hardware. But how is the game in 2021? Quite simply, you have it is still Overwatch. You still have your maps, but there's been a lot of changes. First of all, not all maps are in the competitive queue because some of them are not that balanced and not that good. Maps like Paris and Horizon Lunar Colony has been taken out of the competitive queue because they are really painful to play against. They're not very well balanced. It has been a struggle for Blizzard to keep all of their maps balanced, as some of them are not that fun. It ends up to kind of frustrating or not that engaging gameplay. Sometimes I look at some of the 2CP maps and still wonder why they're in the game. Vital from a competitive standpoint, like pro play, they can be interesting to build strats around. It can just end up with like a snowball fest from one team, or one of those where you never get to cap a tick on second point because the respawn timers are too fast. And that's true, but what they have at least done is they have at least sorted some of those maps out of the hero pool or out of the map pool, which is great for the competitive play. You can still play them in quick play. They added role queue, which I was really skeptic about. I made multiple videos talking about how I didn't like this. And from a competitive standpoint, as a coach, I still find role queue to be very limiting. I think one of the fun things as a coach and as somebody that was building, working with professional teams, was the fact that we could like mix and match and work around stuff. Even though it a lot of time ended up with just being meta play, right? It was still like weird meta team composition and everyone was playing very similar things in scrims. And I still, to a certain extent, miss sometimes the luxury to be able to swap to a tank or a support or a DPS when I'm in another queue, depending on what I think is needed in that matchup. The really great thing with role queue and why I like role queue way better than just free open, pick whatever you want, is the fact that I remember how many times I was like praying that I was going to get a support or I was going to get two supports, right? Because there's no way I was playing support. Like I want to, play heroes I was really good at and knew I could carry on, and that wasn't support. That was off tanks and DPS players, right? And sometimes you just didn't get any supports, and that was really shitty when the enemy team got support or when the enemy team got really good team compositions and you didn't. Not in terms of what heroes you play, but just like you didn't have enough heals, you didn't really have any tanks. Like you would run 6 DPSs because nobody, wanted to swap because everyone wants to play their thing. That was really, really, really frustrating. And I like role queue because it has made competitive stable. There is a stable factor. I know I will 2 healers, I know I will 2 tanks and 2 DPSs, and then you play within that role. And while it's limiting for flex players, I still think that is really, really good. And if you want to be, if you're a GM support player, you don't have to, if you want to play tank, you don't need to buy a Smurf. You don't need to, pick tank and try to play tank in that high elo and, destroy the rank on your role. You can queue into a separate rank on tank. You can queue into a special rank on DPS and a special rank on support. And I think that's really, really great. The fact that you can choose what you want to play. I like that. I think that it makes it so that I can play tank if I want to play tank. I can play support, I can play DPSs without touching the other's rank, so I don't need to be, again, one of the reasons I wasn't flexing was, again, I don't want to play support because I can't carry and then I will lose my rank. Now it's like, oh, of course I'm going to play support because my support has its own rank. Of course I'm going to play tank because it has its own rank. And the same with my DPS, and I think that is actually really good. And while the queue times for DPS is really, really long compared to other games, unless you're doing something like Fast Pass, I still think that it is really, really good. I like the fact that it's split up because it makes my game more stable, and again, it allows me to play more of the roster, which is nice. When it comes to talking about balance, I won't talk about the balance currently in Overwatch. And the reason is that when you're watching this in 2 weeks or a month or half a year or whatever, this have changed, probably. The meta is swapping up and down overall. What I rather want to address is how Blizzard has been balancing stuff. And how they're balancing stuff now, or at least what it seems to dare be doing. So, for a very long time, Blizzard had a very offhand approach, and that was really, really bad. If we were forced into a meta, then Blizzard wouldn't do anything to like nerf it. If Moira or Break, or Mercy, those 3 support players was really high impact with very little skill required, both mechanically and a lot of time also game sense wise, those weren't nerfed. They were just standing there for such a long time, destroying the meta. When GOATs was a thing, Blizzard didn't do anything to really impact the strength of GOATs. So everyone was just playing the same team comp over and over again because it was so strong. And that kind of offhand approach of, you guys will figure it out, hurt, for me at least, a lot of players that I know, both in the competitive environment, also in the casual environment. And also for me, it was a big struggle, just because if you didn't like the meta, or if the meta took shape and it just was like the one thing and you can't play anything else, and you're going to get tired. You don't want to play the same thing over and over again when you have a huge hero roster. You want to be able to flex and more things to be viable. That's fun. It's not fun to be locked into a meta, and if you don't pick the exact team composition, then you're at a huge disadvantage. Not just like a little one, but you're like at a significant disadvantage in your solo queue and competitive games. It seems like Blizzard has taken a more aggressive and more, faster response time approach, and I think that is really, really good. I think that they're playing around with a lot of stuff. They are trying out new things, both crazy ideas and also, more sane ideas, looking at stuff and doing tweaks and stuff like that. And this kind of leads me, and I think that is really good, but it kind of leads me over to the content aspect. They're trying to balance-wise tweak a lot of stuff and swap up stuff in the meta and buff stuff and nerf stuff and kind of like shift it around to make the game like more dynamic, more diverse. You get to play different stuff because there's new buffs or mechanics introduced or stuff like that. The issue is, with no new heroes and no new maps and no new real events, like, again, there are still winters events with skins and stuff like that, but there's not really any events, right? The content right now is really dry, and that's a big issue because there's nothing to be excited for anymore. Currently, you play Overwatch if you like Overwatch. If you like the Overwatch gameplay, kind of like CS, if you like the Overwatch gameplay, right? You think that it's fun to play competitive, you think it's fun to play the arcade modes, some of the custom games modes which have endless amount of content. You think it's fun to grind in ranked and try to improve with alone or with your friends. That is really, really great. Then Overwatch is amazing and it's fun and it's super, super good. But if you want something else, if you want like a new hero, or you want to try a new map, or you want to be excited for the game, and I think that's kind of like the thing that I'm lacking right now. I'm playing Overwatch because I like Overwatch. I like the gameplay, I like the audio system, the visuals look great. I think that the game feels good. I have liked this game for a long time. There's a reason I put so many thousands of hours into grinding ranked and playing the game. I love the game. The game feels great. It's nice, but there's nothing that makes me excited for Overwatch. I'm not thinking, oh shit, right? There will be, Echo. Oh, that looks so cool. Doomfist, wow, right? Like, I don't have that. I don't have that excitement. Oh, cool, a new map, right? I can't wait to play it and like figure it out and see what I can do on that map. There's not a lot of that because you're holding it for Overwatch 2. And I've talked about this before. I think it's a huge mistake to not have any content, like no new anything, no new like cool events or cool, like nothing really. There is just play the game, grind, have fun with that. But if you want to be excited for it, there isn't anything right now. And that's kind of my issue with Overwatch right now. While the balance team is doing a great job in trying to swap stuff around to make the game feel different, because there are different metas and different heroes are being highlighted with balance, which I think is good, there just isn't anything else. And I've said this before and I will repeat this again. If Overwatch 2 doesn't like really like, you know, bring it up and like really just, you know, there's so much there's a lot of new content. Everything is just amazing. It can be scary for like the Overwatch brand itself. And I'm still questioning the PvE event as I'm not a PvE player, right? So if there's nothing new great in the PvP aspect of Overwatch 2, then, you know, or again, and especially if they can't keep up with updates, right? If they get it, you know, Overwatch 2 out, but there's not enough Steam to kind of keep a content drip going, then that can be really, really scary for like Overwatch as a game brand itself, because, you know, then it will just be more of what we have now, but there's different skins and maybe a couple new maps, right? And at that point, like, we are kind of like starved now, and because we are so starved, it's almost like, okay, I'm taking, you know, getting no content, right? You know, I'm kind of being, you know, a good boy and healthy, not taking any content, and then, you know, you're waiting for like the big dessert, which is Overwatch 2, and if that is so underwhelming, I think it's gonna cause a lot of trouble. But Overwatch as it is right now is great. If you have taken a break from the game and you want to get back into it, I advise it. Come back. It's completely okay to take breaks. I've taken breaks from Overwatch and come back and enjoy the game. If you still play it, that's amazing, and I want to hear your opinions down in the comment section below. What do you rate the game out of 10? For me, Overwatch right now, and what I will say Overwatch will continue to be, is for me a 7 out of 10. And it's a 7 out of 10 because I think it's really fun. I think it's really addicting. Again, I'm also played this so much that I'm kind of numb to the game, right? It's not new and exciting. It's just like the same old. I love the gameplay and the game Overwatch, but because there's nothing new for me to interact with, it is kind of just like I go back to something that I feel, you know, nostalgic with, that I love, that I think is fun, but that's also it. It's like going back to same old reliable and nothing else, right? And therefore it's a 7 out of 10. Visuals amazing, audio is amazing, gameplay is fun, engaging system, fun mechanics, right? Cute. I think it's great with what they've done with roll queue. I think it's great that what they have done in terms of limiting the map pool, but I don't think it is great in terms of just straight up just content, just cutting that off. I think that is just hurting the community and also hurting my excitement for the game. And if there was like a continuous upstream of updates and maps and stuff like that, I think it would rise closer to a, you know, an 8 or a 9 or maybe even a 10 out of 10 depending on like what they're doing with that content. But because there isn't, and it's mainly just cosmetics, it's a 7 out of 10 for me. And I would like to hear what you guys think down in that comment section below. What do you guys think of Overwatch at its current, not as a current state balance wise, but as a game in the whole? If you look at the game now, take out balance changes, which will change in the future, and just look at the game. What is the rating for you? And I think that's how you should look at this game. For me, it's a 7 out of 10, and I would love to hear your experience down in the comment section. But as always, guys, please do the care of yourself, stay positive. I love you guys very, very much. The vaccines are coming, and they are being rolled out, so just hold out a little bit longer. I know I say that a lot, but we gotta just kind of do what we gotta do, am I right? I hope to see you on the live stream, and of course, please take care of others, but also remember to take care of yourself. I love you guys very, very much. My name's Jonal. Tell somebody that you love them, and keep the enemy in your crosshair.